Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, playing Star Wars Outlaws, and in this video I'm going to show you the Scoundrel Gear Set location. It's easily the best gear set in the entire game. It helps you move more silently, it helps you take less damage, improves your accuracy, improves your carrying capacity, and even allows you to have a greater supercooling window. This happens as a part of the Jet Kordo's Legacy questline, and the earliest you can start this is after you get the spaceship that lets you leave Toshara. When you get your spaceship for the first time, you should find a holodisc, and then you can take this holodisc on Toshara near the Typhoon's Rock in the Lost Steppe. If you go to this exact location that I just showed you on the map, you should be able to come up a path, turn around the corner and find a rock, and you should be able to tune in this holodisc to the rock's frequency. This will allow you to find Jet Kordo's vault, the first step of the process. Once you do interact with the rock, your holodisc will start beeping, and generally the closer you are to the location it's used, the louder and more frequently it will beep, and if you're facing the correct direction, it'll also beep. So you just kind of want to head in the general direction that it is beeping at. But there's obviously going to be like rocks and things in the way, and there's a lot of verticality in this game, so you'll want to stay tuned. But for Jet Kordo's vault, you'll be able to kind of continue down the rock path, go directly in front of you to find a large hole in the ground, and then you'll be able to find a small interactable object on the side of a rock. Here you can basically insert your holodisc in order to unlock a secret vault, and this is what the quest line kind of centers around. We'll have to do this 7 unique times. But once you interact with this panel using your holodisc, it should unlock a vault, which is a ladder directly in front of you, which you can now climb up. At the top of the ladder, you should be able to notice a door that you can interact with, and we'll just skip through the little mini game here. There's also going to be a data pad that you should read, but if you go through this door, you should begin the first of many vaults, and here you'll find a chest with your first piece of Scoundrel gear. I believe this is the belt. Stick around here until the quest line plays out. You'll receive intel before you move on. The next vault we can tackle is the Overgrown Vault, and you'll want to go to the main city on Akiva. You can fast travel to the Market District area, and in the top right corner of this area where I placed this waypoint, you should be able to find a shady merchant. And if you interact with this merchant, they'll open up their shop, and the first thing that is going to be on their list, if you haven't already purchased it, is the mysterious holodisc, which is a quest item. You'll want to buy it in order to move on. Once you have that, you'll want to go to this location on the map. There is a kind of fallen over rock tree thing over the water, and that's what you're going to want to be on, not far from the abandoned vault where we got our disruptor gear set in another video. So you'll be able to cross across this bridge onto this area, and if you actually were to open up the holodisc, you'd notice the kind of landmark in front of us on there. So after you cross towards the landmark, head kind of to the north, but follow the path. You'll notice that there are some ruins, and as the path curves towards the ruins, you should be able to find the rock, and with this rock, you should be able to tune the frequency of the holodisc in order to now look for the vault itself. For the vault location, let's head back in the direction we came from, so that's kind of southwest. Follow that path and go back across the ledge that goes over the water. And as you're pointed in the right direction, your holodisc will start beeping yellow, so you'll know that you're generally headed in the right direction. As you come down the rock, you'll want to go to the right and then follow the path up the hill. Follow this path for a decent while, and then you'll come into a larger open area. As you come to that large open area, just drop down, and here it's just about locating the holodisc insert. So if you just walk past the first couple of items right up the middle and hook around to your left on this pillar, you should be able to find your key entrance. And if you use that holodisc, it should open up your vault, which will be in front of you and to the right. So let's go inside and figure out what we can grab here. Not every vault is going to have some scoundrel gear, but they'll have clues to the next vault. They'll have very rare items and useful charms. So they're all worth it, and you have to do them in order anyways. So as you come in, make sure you grab everything you can, but what we're looking for primarily is the chest at the end of the vault. So once you grab that, you can then go and progress the quest and look for the next vault.
Another of Kordo's vaults.
Anything interesting?
The next vault we can grab is the Forgotten Vault, also on Akiva. We'll visit the main city, and there's a fast travel point pretty much in the center of town. And next to the gate, you can find these two people chatting it away. And if you lean against the wall, you'll be able to get a clue as to some intel we'll need to get to the vault. This unlocks the next step, which is to go and find the Hut Enforcer. The Hut Enforcer is in this area near the bottom left corner of Akiva. You'll want to make your way through the base. You can go loud or quiet, and one of the enforcers here should have a holodisc. You can go loud, I believe, and just take them out, grab the disc, and move on. But if you're sneaking or if you're in good standing with the hut, you should be able to just send in Nyx and grab the holodisc. With that, let's head out into the water, the Great Basin, and head pretty much to the north. You'll find the Entangled Island. You'll obviously need the ability to use the speeder on the water, which is unlocked through natural progression of the main missions on Akiva. Just off to the left of the Entangled Island, you can find a tiny island with a small tree, and on this island there is also a rock. Now that we have the holodisc, we can actually interact with this rock. You can't really skip the steps here, unfortunately. You have to do the intel, or else the holodisc isn't there, which is a little bit annoying, I think. But if you can isolate the frequency of the holodisc here, you'll be able to find the Forgotten Vault, which is not too far. Head back onto your speeder and head towards the northeast. And at the far end northeast side of this basin, you'll be able to find where the vault is. Let's fast forward a little bit, and you'll find it tucked away here in the very corner. You will need to be on your speeder, as there is a little bit of a jump to be made, and I don't believe you can do it on foot. But go ahead and interact with the Forgotten Vault to head inside.
Alright, let's see what we have here.
Once inside, you'll find that this one does have a little bit of a trick up its sleeve. Find the collectibles and interact with the chest. Unfortunately, this one is armed with a turret that will begin to shoot you. You'll have to disarm the turret using the button in the corner. You can try to send Nyx, but I wasn't successful with that. So you can just run across and do a slide and push the button to turn off the turret. Once you do that, you can go back to the case in order to open it up and grab the Scoundrel Pants, the second part of the gear set.
Hey, Andy, got another one of Kordo's vaults.
The next two vaults we'll go for are on Tatooine. We'll start in Mos Eisley, and we'll go near the Cantina fast travel point. And here you can find a group of people talking off to the left near all the space junk. And if you interact with these people, you'll start your first intel clue chain related to the buried vault.
Hey there. That treasure...
That piece of intel should take you to the way far checkpoint, which is the first area we landed in on Tatooine. And if you go to the center of town, you'll notice this large cylindrical tank. There should be two people standing next to it and talking. If you interact with them and then skip the conversation, you can either use your hut contact if you have high reputation with the hut, or you'll have to pay some credits in order to learn the intel, but this should take you to the next location into the desert. So if we head to the big map and go pretty much to the far left, we'll find the Western Dune Sea near the Pillar Forest. There are two caves here, but if you find this one cave off to the left, you'll be able to pull up on your speeder and then head into the right and find it. and here is where you'll find the next holodisc that we'll need. It is pretty unfortunate. I did end up in this cave earlier on in the game, and the holodisc doesn't spawn unless you do the intel steps before it. So that's why we have to do the intel first, and you can grab the holodisc.
This thing took a beating.
The location for this holodisc is in the Western Dune Sea, and it's these 3 rocks that are a pretty good landmark. As you approach them from the cave we were in, the smallest rock on the left will be the rock that we can use to isolate the frequency. As soon as we do that, just hop back on your speeder. Once you got the frequency on the holodisc, just head directly to the southwest, and you'll see these dune ridges directly in front of us. And as you go over the first ridge, you should be able to basically turn around and find the buried vault on Tatooine. It's decently well hidden here, but you should be able to find it without an issue. For this one, what you need to do is you'll need to go up and insert the holodisc. This will open up a vault door that you'll be able to then get into. So once you use your ion blaster to power up the vent, you can head inside, and as with all of the other vaults, inside of here you'll find a bunch of decent loot, sometimes more rare than others, and at the end you'll also find that chest, which is super important. This will technically contain your last piece of Scoundrel gear, which is the jacket, but there are more rewards in this questline if you're interested. Like this next vault, which is the Perched Vault. It also starts in Tatooine. The easiest way to do this is to go to the town of Bestine, and here, starting from where you can land your ship, if you head kind of to the southeast, you should find this kind of small little docking bay, and you'll find these 2 people talking, and if you talk with them, you should get your intel for the next location. This piece of intel will take you to the South Judland Wastes, and here you'll be able to find Garrick Rock and Garrick Ranch. Take out all of the enemies or sneak in if you want, and in kind of the main building, you'll need to slice one of the data ports, so you will need the slicing kit from one of the expert abilities. And if you correctly slice in, you'll be able to head inside of the door and grab the holodisc. The location to use this holodisc is still in the South Judland Wastes. You'll end up on this road, and there's a huge arch of a rock in front of you. And just off to the side of this rock, you can find a small little town. I believe there is a merchant here, as I've already been here. And there is a rock in the center, and you can tune your frequency here. After you tune your frequency, head to the north of the area. You'll see a small little cave entrance, and then you'll want to follow the path, taking one of the first available left-hand turns, which will allow you to climb a wall. Just keep following the path and climbing walls when possible, and you'll end up at a fairly obvious vault door. You can interact with it to insert your holodisc and enter inside. Head inside of the vault to grab a couple of valuables you can sell, a couple of materials for upgrading, and a chest at the end, which does have a collectible as well as a paint job. So you'll grab all of those, and this will then send you to your next vault as a part of the mission. The last vault is the Sheltered Vault. It's on Kajimi. The best way to do it is to start at the kind of thermal district not far from the wellspring. Here you'll find a bridge with two blokes chatting on it, and you'll be able to approach them, talk to them, and begin the intel chain for the Sheltered Vault. This intel chain will take you to the Thieves' Quarters, still on Kajimi in the city near the bottom left-hand corner. And down this alley, you should be able to find a shady-looking person, talk to them in order to get the next piece of intel, which is where you can find the Holodisc. This piece of intel lets you know that the Holodisc is located inside of this kind of area here where there is a Sabacc game going on, and the Holodisc is the reward for winning in Sabacc. So go ahead, sit down, and play until you win. Now, obviously, feel free to cheat, feel free to peek at the other players' cards, and use your best chips in order to give yourself the best advantage. Personally, I found that for winning Sabacc, you just want to pretty much fold as much as possible unless you are dealt an extremely powerful hand right off the bat. After you win in Sabacc, you can just head out of the area, take a left-hand turn to end up in the town square, where you can find the rock for tuning your frequency. Once you tune the frequency, head to the southwest down that same alley we took earlier through the Thieves' Quarters, and go to the very end of this path. At the end of the path, take a right-hand turn towards the north, and there you'll find a climbable wall and a staircase where you can insert your holodisc to open up the Sheltered Vault. This vault only contains collectibles and a couple of crafting materials, but it includes some very important information. We'll need to actually complete the quest line and get the kind of ultimate reward, which is technically a charm. So to wrap the quest up, you'll have a conversation with ND5. They'll invite you back onto your spaceship, and they'll let you know that they placed a holodisc on your spaceship. So you'll go ahead and grab that, and then you want to fast travel back to Tashara, and you want to go back to the original vault. Obviously, you can find the location at the beginning of this video, or you should have it marked on your map, as you have all of the information needed to complete the quest. Once you reach the vault from the beginning of the quest line, head up the ladder and open the door in front of you. It is a secret door to reveal a secret room. The secret room should contain, as always, a couple of different things you can pick up and a chest at the end. Opening up this chest gives you the major charm, which allows you to not have to wear an entire gear set to get the gear set perk, which can be useful in certain circumstances. And that more or less concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the video was helpful. Drop a like. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.